All right, Shalom. Today is November the 20th, 2022. Before I start, I want to say all praises and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, the God Kadash. All right, God honors to the other apostles, that great millstone, rule well, who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, fellow laborers, doing the work again without, teaching the words of truth, especially with this current controversy going on. So, shalom to you guys for standing firm. Shalom to the Ruach Wap that believe as well. Shalakia for last week. My device went out of storage unexpectedly, so Shalakia for that. But I got it taken care of. Shalakia, it was short. It was probably 36, 37 minutes almost. So Shalakia, I went out. I continued to teach you when the camera went off. Lord willing, you can hear me real good. Lord willing, street ministry is edifying as well, because we come out here to edify. One thing about us is we come out here, we teach the scriptures, man. That's our job, to teach the scriptures. Paul said, teach the word, be instant, not out of season. So this is what we do. Recently, we've been labeled a hate group. They call us derogatory terms. First and foremost, everybody that's on the highways and hedges are not all so-called Negroes or all so-called black. You have the so-called Native Americans, which myself is one. You have so-called Latinos or Hispanics. We out here too, because collectively, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, my house of our fathers, we are the true Israelites according to the Bible. Something that's been hidden and kept away from us for generations, especially when we went into captivity. Okay, and so you have Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. He been openly admitting that the prophet. He mentions the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28 chapter, which is the curses that befell upon the Israelites, and he mentions the 68th verse, which is the children of Israel, the Israelites, going into slavery by ships. Okay? And so, he knows this. He knows that they don't go that far, because, again, they don't teach about the northern tribes. They'll make mention of it like, yeah, there are the 10 lost tribes, which are the northern kingdom, also known as Israel. Okay, the kingdom of Israel, and then you have the kingdom of Judah, Benjamin, and you have Levi. All right, they'll mention it, right? But they don't really go into who are the lost tribes. All right, which we know, okay. But he admits to that being a prophecy. Now, if we know that the Bible is a prophetic book, right? You know the Bible is a prophetic book, and you know that we fit the prophecies of the Bible, well, there's no argument really, but this is what the Most High wants, right? That's what Paul said, by the foolishness of preaching. All right, by the foolishness of preaching. This is a foolish thing, but this is acceptable. This is pleasing to the Heavenly Father, okay? And so we do what we are committed to do, This is the book of 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 20 says, where is the wise, where is the scribe, where is the disputer of this world? Had not the Heavenly Father made foolish the wisdom of this world? And the answer is yes. The wisdom of this world is nothing. We didn't learn that we was Israelites from this world. That was through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, waking up, rising up. That was the Most High raising up his men, the prophets, all right, teachers, all right, to wake up the remnant. See, that's what happened. This is what you're seeing. All right, when you go by a camp, when you see brothers in the highways and hedges teaching Israel, right? What the whole world is watching, especially now since this Ronnie Dalton dude, which he barely know anything, in my humble opinion. But they watching his documentary movie, Hebrews and Negroes, and they pennies all up in the bunch. And this guy barely know anything. Which I believe he was set up, man. But nonetheless, especially the tents of Judah, right? The tents of Judah is rowing up. The movie is like over 800% of purchases and rentals since the retweet that Kyrie Irving did. Okay? And we know that 2 Corinthians 13:8 say that we can do nothing against the truth before the truth. So, hey, now the whole world is on notice. Now the nobles, all right, are paying great attention to us now. But they're not trying to have a dialogue. See, because the word controversy goes into opposing views, opposing views or opposition. Period. Okay. We uphold what the Bible says. We believe wholeheartedly in the Bible, which is the Lord's word. And then you have people that don't believe in it. They read the Talmud. Okay? You got people that's going into the Bible, which is us, proving that we are these people. You got another people don't want to deal with the Bible. So, come on, man. Something ain't right there. Verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of the Heavenly Father, the world by wisdom knew not the Heavenly Father. It pleased the Heavenly Father by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. See? So, that's what it is. Now, I got a video I'm watching, I'm looking into, Lord willing, I'm going to finish that video later. You got rabbis admitting that the so-called Negroes are the real Jews. So if the rabbis admit it, why is there an argument? Why is there a dispute? Like I said, this is what the Most High wants. Okay? And then we bring up that the Bible has very detailed color descriptions. All right? Because this guy, Harry Rosenberg, said that he's descendant of David and King Solomon. King Solomon was dark as Wesley Snipes, or darker. How the fuck can you get a so-called white person from a so-called black person? All right. Well, I'll be blessed when the kingdom of heaven is in. All right. I mean, how can you get a so-called? How can a black person descend from a so-called white person? That doesn't make any sense. That's what I meant to say, Shalakia. All right. Which we all know that most of the people on the earth are people of color. Okay. They are people of color. And then even when you go into the fact that there's color in the Bible, in other descriptions, all right, of the Jews, which they have woolly hair, all right. The so-called Negroes got woolly hair, all right. The so-called Negroes look like bronze or burnt brass, okay. So these are things that they don't want to bring up, because why? This will make them look foolish. Okay? And these things are all in the Bible. Which this is a living book, a prophetic book, man. This is Jeremiah. Not Jeremiah. This is Isaiah. I'm sorry. Isaiah 34:16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. Meaning what? The prophecies of this book, right? Which is the Holy Bible, the 1611. See, I got the Apocrypha in my hand too. All right? Which is a part of the Old Testament. All right? But this is the book you need right here. All right? These prophecies in this book will not fail you. You can't make another book with this book. All right? There's no need to. And you can't do it anyway. Though you have history books which go with, as far as like you got the Josephus, okay, which was a sellout Israelite. All right, that's something that we go into. All right, certain history books. All right, that lines up with the scriptures. Probably more detailed account, bit for bit, maybe certain details. Like Josephus, he witnessed a lot, so he wrote it down. All right, in his writings, he wrote it down. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? We go into books like that, but we have what else? Ancient Notes of Caroline. You got the Arthur Koestler book, which is called the 13th Tribe. Okay, so we do go into books, but the main source we need is right here. It's not like we have to. All right, because secular history is right here in this book. Okay, you got in the Apocrypha, you got Alexander, the first to reign over Greece. That's in the Apocrypha. You got Darius of the Persians and Medes. Okay, it speaks about the Edomites, also says the Idumeans during the Maccabees, which is a period where Hellenization was great upon the Israelites. Okay? All right, and so Henry Rosenberg, he mentions that the so-called Negroes, and he say come from West Africa, they fit the prophecy of Deuteronomy 28:68, right? So let's go into that. Let's go into it. Because out of his own mouth, he said that. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Well, let's read 15 first, so we can understand what we're talking about here, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." All right. So from verse 16 to 68 is all the curses, which are all prophetic, that will happen to the Israelites, right? Let me start at 14. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." So we didn't create Google. All right? The so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans, we didn't create Google. But when you Google yokes of iron, you only have to put the scripture in. Just put in yokes of iron. When you type in yokes of iron upon Google and you click on images, so-called Negroes and Native Americans, and then you scroll on down, you see so-called Hispanics that come up. Actual pictures, actual events that took place. All right? Your people wouldn't put in yokes of iron. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we would put in yokes of iron. Chains and shackles and shit. Okay? This is why over here in so-called America, they changed the history books. See, they don't like to talk about slavery because it's so fucking horrendous what they did to us. And there's a price to pay because we're the Heavenly Father's children. So you touch the wrong man's children. All right? You talk about anything else but what you did to the Lord's people. And the Lord is not happy about that. The Lord's gonna fuck you heathen up for that, man. All right? There's a price to pay for touching the Lord's people, right? Because who put the yokes of iron upon our necks? All right. When you go into history, 78% of the slave owners was all Jewish. They paid for the slave ships to be made, and it says over 40% of their population was slave owners. And they have those same families are the top families still today. They have these big corporations. All right. They own the central banks. And even the smaller branch of banks around here, they are owned by the Jewish people, man. That's a fact. They own Hollywood. They own fucking Disney World. Walt Disney was a so-called Jew. All right. This ain't no secret. Okay. So when you talk about these things, you know, who put us in slavery? 78% of them was Jewish. That means you once put us in slavery. Okay? Because who you know is Christopher Columbus, he was Jewish. All right? You know, the new Spaniards came over here to this so-called New World. They was Jewish. Okay? So that lets you know right there that they're ashamed of their history. Even Harry Rosenberg admits that he'll minimize it. He'll say, yeah, he said, yeah, there were families, there were Jewish people that had slaves. But he said that doesn't mean my whole people, all my people had slaves. Well, 78%, that's like 4/5. That's over 3/4 of your people that had a hand in slavery. Shit, that's come on, man. That's the vast majority. 78%. Come on, man. The few, what they call like the few exceptions. All right. The overwhelming majority is the rule, man. That's the standard. So overwhelming majority of your people were slave owners, man. Okay. Let's go to 68. It says, verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And so this is what happened unto the children of Israel. The word Egypt goes into the Greek word Iagyptos, which means bondage or slavery. Did your people go into slavery by ships? The answer is no. All right? We all know that the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics went into slavery by ships, man. Especially the so-called Negroes, which he admits, right? Well, nobody else in that fucking... Then they round up so-called white people to put them on the slave ships from West Africa and bring them over here. They brought all so-called Negroes. And he mentions the Igbos and then the Bantu and the Shantis, all of them, right? They are over here in America. I'm gonna give you an example. I know them, right? Because my mother will be of the Southern Kingdom by her house, by the line of her fathers, right? So some of her relatives, right? Because my mom's mother is a Gadite, so-called North American Indian, right? But most of my mom's side is all mainly Negroes, and then her mom's people are Native Americans, right? So when I talk to the so-called Negro side of her family, right? They West Indian. You know, Igbo. I got a sister that she's with a Nigerian. All right. There are plenty of so-called Negroes over here that identify as being Nigerian or Igbo. Cameroon. Okay, this guy Chris Tucker, he's Cameroon. Big NBA star Joel Embiid from Cameroon. Hakeem Olajuwon, Igbo, Nigeria, right? Shannon Sharp, sellout cool nigga. That nigga's Igbo, Nigerian. Anthony Joshua, he's not Igbo. He's Nigerian or Igbo. Queen Latifah, Nigerian or Igbo. Flavor Flav, Nigerian or Igbo. You see? These are big names, man. So the so-called Negroes you brought over here, they are so-called Igbos and Bantus and Ashantis and Senegalese, from the Ivory Coast. These are these people. You see? So there's no disputing that. The people that came from the west coast of Africa, these were the peoples. They're not called by these names today. They're called African American today. Well, you know they ain't African. All right? Him became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So some so-called Negroes you brought from the west coast of Africa to over here to America, all right? You knew they was the Israelites. You knew they was Jews, which is the southern kingdom, or kingdom of Judah. Okay? That's why the handbill said find Hebrews, meaning Hebrews, for sale on board the ships. All right? Let's go to Joel. So if you know that Deuteronomy 28:68, especially the so-called Negroes identify with that or fit that identity, how can you say that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving are anti-Semitic? That makes no sense if you know that they come from they are descendants of the slaves that came off the ships. But yet you call them anti-Semitic. That makes no sense. The people, if you know they Shemitic, which is a real word, and you know that they descend from the slaves that were brought from the west coast of Africa, which were Jews, how can they be anti-Semitic? The people that put them on slave ships and then did all kinds of atrocities to them, they would be the anti-Semitic people. Let's go to Joel. And this is why they refuse to have this doubt. This is why they refuse to have a conversation about it, because it's just a shame, man. Obadiah verse 10 says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee." So right now, we're seeing the shame of Esau being put on display. Let me get some from my nose. This is a slug. Let me just. Oh. Lock it. I put some herbal oils, which is good. If you got science out there, I can. Herbal oils like oregano oil is good. Eucalyptus, you got like eucalyptus in it. I have real bad sinus, so that's something that helps out with it. It helps your nose stay clear. All right, so let's get Joel. Joel chapter 3, and Joel chapter 3 and verse, I'm going to go right to the point. Verse 6, it says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians that you might remove them far from their border. So I was just speaking about the west coast of Africa, right? The transatlantic slave trade, right? It said the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, the city of peace. It says that you remove them far from their borders. All right. Now, what's removing them far from their borders, right? Because the west coast or the interiors of Africa, once you go into history, they tell you that over 1 million Jews ran into the interiors of Africa, right? We call it Africa today, which is formerly the land of Ham. Okay. It says that over 1 million of them ran into that land, right? And from that land, they went to slavery by ships, right? So the Grecians, which are who? The Edomites. All right. Ronald Dalton. What's this guy's name? Pastor Dow. When you look up the word Greek, right, or Grecian, you go into I gotta go into history, right? So you go into history, right? You say Japheth, right? The Edomites don't come from Japheth. Let me say that again. The Edomites don't come from Japheth. The Edomites are Shemites too. All right. So you gotta know that history, my man. All right. The Japhet people, the Minoans, which are modern day Samoans. You have the Hawaiians, Polynesians, Aborigines of Australia. Okay, that go back to that, the land that the Edomites conquered, which is Europe, from that what would be kind of North Mediterranean on up into Europe. Okay, they were the original Japhetic people were pushed out. Okay, and they were pushed out by the Edomites because the Israelites and the Japhetic people got along for the most part. They was pretty much cool with us, so to speak. But the Edomites, starting with Alexander, all right, when y'all was coming up, and then Alexander first reign over the Greeks, which are Edomites, that pushed out the real Greeks, which is the Japhetic people. They took their place or stead, right? So the Edomites, all right, are the Greeks or Grecians. Okay? Because why? They the ones that ruled over the Israelites were Jews. Alexander was an Edomite. And everybody that ruled after him, generals that came after him, so on and so forth, Ptolemy, Cassandra, all of them, they all was Edomites, man. Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay? These were Edomites. They tell you that in the Maccabees, the Idumeans. Okay? So, when it says that the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, it's talking about the Edomites. Alright? But you gotta know their history. How you know it's talking about the Edomites? Well, the Edomites pushed out the original Japhetic people. That's history. See? And that happened. It's called the transatlantic slave trade. They literally took They literally took the so-called Negroes from the west coast of Africa, brought them over here on slave ships, and you go into the late 1400s, they started taking Native Americans, or what you know as Native Americans, and Hispanics over to Europe, in different parts of the world. So all the tribes technically was going into slave ships. But notably, all right, the images you see are especially in the kingdom of Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Okay, that's what you see. And so if you know that that actually happened to the so-called blacks or so-called African Americans, why you call them anti-Semitic, right? By your own mouth, you admit that they are those people, right? This is Job 15. Job 15, and starting at verse 5. It says, "For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thy own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee." See, so your own mouth condemns you by you admitting that. Because if you admit that, that means you know that the Israelites, or in particular the Jews, all right, which is the southern kingdom of Israel, after the split, that came after King Solomon died. You know who the Jews are. But why you call them anti-Semitic? Why you denying the role you played in their history of coming over here on slave ships? Why you trying to act like we all gonna get together and come together for some good and do some good together? The Lord ain't for all nations being together, especially his people. See? And so your own mouth condemned you. And that's why you have these Israelite celebrities, they lashing out now, because why? The things that they even though they sold out, all right, the things that happened to them, they speaking out against them now, or about them now. Because why? It's the small hats that's doing all these atrocities to them. All right. So let's go from there. This is Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 13 and 23. It says, "Can the Ethiopian change his spots? Sorry, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good. They are accustomed to do evil." See? And the thing is, when you go into the history of what they have done to us, it's all evil, man. It's all evil. And when you speak of it, it's met with, them calling you anti-Semitic to denounce the truth you're speaking about them. And this is the reason why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, all right, Yahweh Yahushua is going to destroy America. This is the reason why the America is going to be destroyed, because America was created by the so-called small hats, man. Those small hats, they created America. They created a system that oppresses us, man. Okay, they created this what do you call it, usury system with the economy or the currency. Charge you interest and shit. They the ones are lending it to us, and we can't lend it to them. See? They wasn't placed upon the yokes of iron, but Native Americans and Negroes and so-called Hispanics, we were, man. And who did the evil to us is mainly your people, Harry Rosenberg. Y'all did that to us, man. And you set up the lower level Edomites because the small hats, you guys are nothing but Amalek, man. When you go into Ashkenaz, they go back to Japheth too, but again, they're Edomites, right? They push out the Japhetic people, right? So all of them came to be Ashkenazi, right? Ashkenazi come from Europe. Okay? Ashkenazi go back to Europe. If you got rabbis admitting that the Jews came on slave ships, which is a prophecy, what does Europe have to do with anything? Even though you did have Israelites in Europe. You did have Israelites in Europe. The Moors, going up into the Dark Ages, and they ruled in Europe. The Scottish, the Irish, the Brits or Anglo-Saxons, they were originally the Negroes, which was going by the word Moorish or Moor, which go back to Moreno. They were up there. You took them down, all right. Hence you have the Renaissance, all right, where a lot of evil was going on, all right. Even the small hats, when they try to go into their history, you got to bring up the Jews, because the Jews was ruling in Europe in the Dark Ages, which the Dark Ages is a direct history about dark people ruling in Europe. Okay, and you see the royalty, all right, in those people, which are Jews, they live in Europe, which are, they go by the term or Moreno. All right, they wear gold jewelry, gold crowns, real nicely pearl. They wore the Star of David. That's where that comes from. The Star of David go back to the Moors. All right. So when they took down the Moors, all right, they did the same thing. Esau did the same thing they did in ancient times when they took or pushed out the Japhetic people. They took on their names, right? And then also, when you go into the history of the Greeks, when they conquered Egypt, all right, when they conquered Mizraim, they dressed up as pharaohs. See? So you have a period where the pharaohs and the Egyptians were so-called white people. Because why? The Edomites had took over, man. And that's who the so-called white people are. Your true nationality are Edomites, man. All right? And the video I'm working on is, even the hosts, which they are, the hosts, they are colluding, right, together. They said that the children of Israel was known as the Israelites, right, which is true. Now, you go in the dictionary, Israeli and Israelite means two different things. Israeli means the modern day Jewry, or the Jewish state of Israel, right? Israelite means the ancient people that descend from Jacob. Which is two different people. All right, it's two different people. All right, if you got one that says ancient people, it says ancient people descended from Jacob. And it has modern day Jewish state of Israel. It's Israeli. That's two different people, man. The Jewish Encyclopedia of 1925 edition says that modern day Jewry is Esau, Edom. And the so-called Negroes didn't make that up. The so-called Native Americans and Latinos didn't make that up. Okay? I knew the guy's name now. His name is Gamal Abdul Nasir. He was the president of Egypt. He was a so-called Arab. He said, how the Jews leave black and come back white. And that's the same thing Arthur Kessler said in his 13 Tribe book. Right? It's the same thing that who you know as who the world knows as Adolf Hitler. He even said out of his own mouth. He said the Schwarzes, which means black, are the Jews. And who you know as Adolf Hitler, he was Jewish himself. They always keep it out when they talk about this guy. But he himself was Jewish, man. Okay? So, when you go into history, okay, you'll find these things. Alright? So, you people that, you know, that's doing all these atrocities, that done all these atrocities to us, they're the ones that's doing evil to us, man. They ain't stopped doing evil to us. Okay? Let's go from there to, this is Romans 13:10. It says, love working no ill to his neighbor. So, the scriptures say, love working no ill to his neighbor. If you're doing evil back then, and all the things you're doing now has been evil, what have to come out making an apology? You know, Kyrie Irving should apologize. When have the so-called Jewish people apologize to the so-called Negroes, which are the Jews? When have the Jewish apologize to the Jews? When have the Jewish apologize to the so-called Native Americans? When have the Jewish apologize to the so-called Hispanics for all the things that they've done to us? See? There's been no apology made for that. There's been no reparations made for that. There's been no means to make a healing or there's no process of trying to even give back the identity to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. See? And that's what's going on. So now they on high alert, trying to race around and disprove what we're saying. The scriptures say the truth shall stand. So that's what's going on. The truth is being declared. The truth is condemning the lies that were told. And the scriptures say that the gates of hell should not prevail against us, man. So we ain't worried. We're doing what we always do. Teach the scriptures, right? This is Second Esdras chapter 16, and Second Esdras 16 and verse 7. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold is in the fire. So this is what's getting ready to happen. All right, they're getting ready to. It's getting ready to be an insurrection upon those of us that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because why? We're the ones that they want to silence for real. Now, why would you want to silence us if we're just teaching out of this book? See? If we're just teaching out of the Bible, why would there be a need for you to try to silence us? Meaning put us to death. See? This is what's getting ready to take place. It's getting ready to be an instant, because the nobles, all right, Isaiah 13 chapter said what? Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. The nobles have been watching us for a time. From Abba Bivens, from Elder Yaquab, from High Priest Ariah, King Masha, the elder apostles today, the elders after them, the deacons, the bishops, the teachers, the young men of the Lord. They've been watching. The nobles have been watching us. They have created devices to overthrow us, which the scriptures warn us of these things, right? All right. That's why Ecclesiastes or Sirach, the second chapter says, the second chapter says, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy heart for temptation. All right. It says, my son, if thou wilt come to serve the Lord, prepare thy heart for temptation. All right? Because, why? Temptation is going to approach us. All right, the scriptures speak about us being delivered up. Let's get that. They don't want to have a dialogue with us. Matthew 24:9 says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. See? So we're going to be delivered up to be afflicted. They're not worried about you fake ass pastors. All you so-called black pastors, you so-called Latin, you so-called Native American pastors or leaders, man. They're not worried about you guys. Those of us that know the truth, they worry about us because you know why? They can't debunk or disprove what we're saying. So what else are they going to do? They're going to come against us. Someone's going to be caught and beheaded. See? Scripture say that some of us going to be beheaded for what? The witness of Yahushua, man. All right. And also the Edge just says that those that stood stiffly, all right, they stood stiffly for who? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right. This is what they get ready to do. They get ready to try to silence us, man. All right, the family of the word is approaching. All right, it's steadily approaching. Okay, because why? We're living in that time where these devils, which are the Edomites, are getting ready to bring that wrath, man. All right, let me get that. Because that's what's going to start the insurrection. You know, Esau, Edom, man. All right, these devils, the so-called white men. It says, Revelation 12:12. And it reads, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knew that he had but a short time. And the reason why he's moving the way he's moving is because he wanted to do away with the Israelites, all right, and replace, replace us with his kind, which are Edomites. All right. That replacement theology bullshit, man. That everybody could be an Israelite. Well, that's bullshit, man. And Pastor Dow and Harry Rosenberg, it's all about genealogy, man. You can't fucking change the genealogy, man. Genealogy goes to the bloodline of your fathers. All right, Numbers 1:18. They want to destroy the Israelites and replace them, and they have what they call a spiritual Israel. All right, which when you go into the new covenant was made into the Israelites. And it says Israel and Judah. Because why? The Most High acknowledged the split, and the Most High is breaching that split. All right, Ezekiel 37th chapter, bringing that breach or split between the two kingdoms and bringing them back into one. I was going to that last week. You know, the camera cut off, but you know, that's what it's all about. The 12 tribes coming back together. You call yourself a Jew, that just means that the Israelites you're speaking to is the ones of the southern kingdom. They are 12 tribes, man. When the Lord going to bring back the people of the land, he's going to bring back all the 12 tribes. That's what Revelation, the 7th chapter is about. It goes into the elect, the 144,000, and it mentions all the 12 tribes. It says 12,000 of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Ephraim, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Issachar, Manasseh. All right? Zebulun, it goes to all the 12 tribes, man. If you're the people, where are the 12 tribes at? You can, all right, so say, okay, let's say they're the Jews, right? You got Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Well, you got 9 more tribes to account for. Where are they? Where are they? Show us where they at. And that's the reason why you're going to. That's the reason why you're going to move on us and try to silence us and put as many of us to death as you can. Because why? This truth is condemning you, man. This truth is exposing you Edomites, man. He calls us a hate group. Well, first of all, you're not supposed to love somebody that do evil to you. If somebody do evil or you know, heinous things to you, you're gonna love them. Somebody puts your family in the auction block. You got a bond man, a bond woman, sons, daughters, they all bound. And we know that first and foremost, bond men and bond women goes into what? The slaves that you brought from the west coast of Africa. You put a bond on them, meaning what? An insurance plan. That's how the insurance. That's how insurance got started. So you so-called Negroes, man, you should be mad, man. Hell yeah, you should be mad because you know why? You have insurance today. All right, the first insurance claim was made on so-called Negroes. Okay? They brought your ass over here. It was so many of you dying. So many Jakes was dying on them slave ships. They had to put insurance on the slaves to make sure they brought a certain amount over here. At least. It's like a least amount of slaves that can be accepted as a count. And if they didn't have X amount of slaves, or the shipment or the captain of the vessel will owe the slave the man who sent the vessel out, he will owe money. And take the money out of the wages. See? That's history. Okay? That is actual history. So you can't admit on one hand, oh yeah, these are the people that fit the prophecies, but then on the other hand, you're denying them. You slander them in the news media, in your news media, matter of fact. All right. The Bible speaks about that. Psalms 50 and 19, it says, Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. It says, Thou slanderest thine own mother's son, which is going into Esau and Jacob, which the people that inhabit the land of Israel, that they come from Esau. Now, one thing he said that ain't true is that he said that because one people went in slave ships, that, oh, that doesn't mean that other people around the world ain't Jews either. First of all, the tents of Judah was dispersed or sold into slavery throughout the four corners of the earth. So we know that history. All right? Not only was they split up over here in America, your husband go this way, the wife go that way, a son this way, daughter that way, son this way, another son that way. They took them to different continents too. All right? They took them to different continents too. See, man, now I'm getting fucking mad. All right? Because that's some bullshit, man. All right? For you to even to know who they are, and at the same time slander them, man. Esau is the one that's controlling the land that belongs to the Israelites, man. That's what's going on. Esau is slandering Jacob's descendants, which are the so-called Negroes, on down to the so-called Spanish and Native Americans. See? Because Esau want that birthright back. All right? Esau want that birthright back. Because why? He sold his birthright. He didn't see any value in it. And after the blessing was given to Jacob, and now he want to act like he give a shit about it. But Isaac already gave it to Jacob. And what did Esau say? Esau said that he's gonna kill Jacob. All right, after his father died, basically. Because Rebecca even told Jacob that thy brother Esau purposed to kill thee. And to this very day, who the ones that murder Israelites, man? Who murdered so-called blacks and Latinos, Native Americans? The Edomites, the so-called white people. Until this very day, they murder us. There's no account is made for it. No, y'all always talk about reparations. You ain't get no goddamn reparations for these devils, man. All right, you're not getting no reparations from these devils. All you're gonna get a flip your ass and have a great fucking day. Everybody get reparations besides you, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native Americans, and so-called Latinos. They even put the so-called, matter of fact, when you go into this whole thing that, Native Americans, they get own this, own that, they put them so-called white people in there that try to claim to be Native American by their fucking grandmothers, that old bullshit, to keep their people in there to get the money, all right, for being so-called Native American. So you got fake Native Americans that own these casinos. I haven't seen, if somebody can prove to me that a Native American owns a casino, I'll shut my mouth from saying that. Okay? Because constantly you see what's in the news. You got tribes fighting over their land. Every time you look up, they fight over their land. They fighting to search for their loved one that been snatched off the goddamn reservation and took it somewhere else, man. All right? So that's something that's not spoken about, man. You know why? Because they know who you are. Okay? Psalm 73, it says, get that. It's Psalm 73. And Psalm 73:7 says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. And that's the reason why they always trying to take more and more land from you. You notice the land that's supposed to be reservation land or treaty land, it always gets taken from you. You know what I'm saying? That's what the North Dakota excess pipeline was about. Trying to build a goddamn oil pipeline or gas pipeline through the fucking clean water source. And you see they true horn, them devil's horns came out, man. All right, goddamn Hosen, Garrites, you fucking spraying canisters with pepper spray on them, or mace. And yet still you want to talk about goddamn how can we make peace? Man, we ain't talking about making no goddamn peace, man. It ain't time for no goddamn peace. The Lord will make peace by subduing all these heathen nations upon us Israelites. We out here to teach the word and to really the elect. All right? Hey, Micah 2:10 says that we are to arise and depart mentally and spiritually, for this is not our rest. This place is polluted, man. It's polluted with the blood of our ancestors. It is ran by the wicked. Esau, Edom, the so-called small hats on down to the average Joe six-pack so-called white person, man. Okay? And that's what's going on. All right? Ain't nothing but wickedness going on. That's why it's called Babylon the Great. All right, this is a great confusion that go on in this place, man. They got with little kids. They trying to change the sex. They trying to have sex changes on little kids, man, on little children. See, little kid. If he say he want to be a girl, they willing to cut off his rod and to make this, man, that's wicked, man. That shit is madness, yo. This was going on in so-called America. None of you fucking wacky-tacky Christians are talking about that. None of you theologians are talking about that. This ain't no motherfucking kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of heaven gonna be when we rule over you people, man. This goes on in the land of Israel too. All right? The Lord said He's gonna turn away ungodliness from Jacob. And He said that the law gonna go forth. The law of the Most High ain't being upheld. People ain't flowing to the land of Israel to seek or learn the Most High's law. That ain't what's going on. See? Because if the law of the Most High was going on, you wouldn't have homosexuals or lesbians in the land of Israel. That's against the Most High's law. That's against the Torah, as you call it, which is really the Torah. Okay? That's how you say it. Ain't no O in the Hebrew. All right? Yiddish ain't Hebrew. Yiddish and Hebrew is two different languages. They take a Hebrew word and twist it to a European language. It's called Yiddish. You ask me to say the Most High name, they can't say it. Come on, man. Malachi 1:14, that the Most High name is dreadful among the heathen. That's why it's a controversy still. Opposing views, opposing facts, or opinions. Opposition in general. Who got facts? Who got opinions? Who can prove? Because the scriptures say, prove all things. See? And this is the reason why they're going to come down upon us, man. Because we got the truth, and not you people. Nahum 3:1, it says, woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. Yeah, America is a bloody city, man. The scriptures say, woe to the bloody city. The bloody city is America. America is full of blood of the Israelites. All right? The blood of the Israelites have been shed greatly in the land of so-called America, which is Babylon the Great. This is history. And we know who shed our blood. More importantly. And now you want to act like we're being anti or being against you? When you goddamn heathen have been against us the whole time. That's what Psalms 83rd chapter is about. Lamentations 2:15 is talking about the same thing. Talking about the heathen, what, coming against us. See? And the scripture says, in Jeremiah 17:4, that the Israelites would discontinue from their heritage. We discontinue from our heritage. When did they discontinue from their heritage? If they know their history. Because that was a prophecy that Jeremiah the prophet was given. That the Israelites, it says, let me read it. Again, it's filled with lies and robbery, man. Jeremiah 17:4, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. See? When did the small hands discontinue from their heritage? They can trace their lineage all the way back to Ashkenazi, Khazars, all that. Ottoman Turks, they mentioned that. They go into the Polish history. They go into all that, right? So when did you discontinue from your heritage? See? But we as a people, we discontinue from our heritage. When was there a great awakening of your people? That's all. That's what Ezekiel 37 chapter about in the Tanakh. The great awakening of who? The children of Israel, the dry bones. The dry bones are the children of Israel. And it mentions the southern kingdom, it mentions the northern kingdom, right? How the Lord is going to join them into one stick, meaning what? Make them into one nation again, instead of two kingdoms. So again, when did that happen to your people? When did that take place? If you're the Jews, where the kingdom of Israel, where the northern tribes are at? Again. See, there have been a lot of lies told. Because going back to this, Nahum 3:1, it's full of lies and robbery. Robbing the real Israelites of their true heritage and identity, man. See? That's what this whole society is about. This whole society was built upon lies. And those lies have been upheld for so long. Okay? And what you have going on right now, those lies have been debunked and been disproved. Okay? And now it's an issue, now it's a major problem because why? You send the people that the book is talking about, all right, raise up. All right? And to claim the spirit of power of Yahweh Shema Shah is raising us up. To claim our true identity, right? Grab some real quick. Isaiah 11, in 1, it says, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. See? And that's what's happening unto us. The Lord has made us of quick understanding, man. This is how we go into history and prove that we're the people that this book is talking about. It didn't look like, by the way. All right? We can prove this book is talking about us. We can prove this book is pertaining to the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, the so-called Native American people. Because it even mentions how the northern tribes look. Does it not say that Ephraim is a cake unturned? Which is what? Light brown? Come on, man. So what are we talking about here? So the Lord made us of quick understanding. And what you see us doing? We're using the words of the Lord, our scriptures, to prove what we're saying. Because this is where we get our information from. This is where we get our knowledge from. From Yahweh Bashim Shah through the Holy Spirit, Ruach Kodash, all right? We have understanding of this book. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Yeah, so you see the righteous man, which is what? Jacob. Jacob's who? Descendants, the Israelites. We're standing in great boldness before the face of the people, which are the Edomites, beginning with Amalek, the Amalekites, the small hats, the 1948ers. They the ones that afflicted us, on down to the average Edomite, and made no account of our labors. We're standing in great boldness before your face, because why? Hey, Yahweh Bashim Shah has raised us up to know the truth, man. Yahweh Shah said, know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. See? And who you see out here providing their bodies as a living sacrifice? The true worshipers, the true believers in Yahweh Bashim Shah. Not you goddamn pastors. Not your wicked ass. You're not standing in great boldness. You sold out. Your 501c3 charter. The Lord going to destroy you, man. You help keep a lot of people in a state of confusion, man. Okay? But we're making known the accounts of our labors. We're condemning our oppressors, all right? The people that enslaved us to their face, man. Beginning with the small hats, man. See? The small hats are the main ones that cause this affliction upon us. And we're the apple of the Most High's eye. So, hey, the Most High said, he that touches you, touch the apple of his eye, man. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangers of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for. So the strangers of his salvation are going to be what? The so-called UFOs, the chariots, man, which are all prophetic, which are all in the scriptures too. When did you have a strange salvation? When did the small hats have a strange salvation? What's strange about going back to the land of Israel and claiming it for yourself, creating the flag? What's strange about that? Ain't that strange about that? Oh, matter of fact, man, you know what? Man, I'm gonna say before a lesson, man. But that's bullshit, man. I just thought about that. It came to mind. The people at the Mona Israel, they go back to the Igbos and shit like that. The Bantu and the Ashanti, the West Coast of Africa. And you kicking them out, and you fucking kicking them out of that land, man. And they belong to that land. That's anti-Semitic, man. What about that shit? Come on, man. You call us hate? Y'all hate us. The Jewish hate the Jews. The Israelis hate the Israelites. But nobody talk about that. They don't have a dialogue about that. So what's going on right now? It's a smear campaign. But we're gonna keep pushing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, we're gonna keep standing in boldness. Okay? Until the end. All right, Lord willing, next week, Shalom.